Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we bring you the latest on the shootings on the campus of the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. Plus, when fans go to Churchill Downs this week for the Kentucky Oaks and Kentucky Derby, they will notice a few changes. And a heavily traveled road is down to one lane in a blind spot because of a bad road slip.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 6 o'clock on the dot on Wednesday, May the 1st. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News this morning. Monday, Tuesday, beautiful. If you like warm weather, they're your kind of days. And Wednesday's shaping up to be the same, but you're going to want to hold on to this as long as you can because you guessed it. Rain is in the forecast. Brandon, it's a pretty good thing that the green screen that you do your weather on is green because that's what the rain is giving us, and you're going to be giving us the rain that makes things green.
Exactly, but not quite yet. One more kind of dry day, kind of warm day as we head into May. Welcome to May, by the way, if you're just waking up this morning. As we take a look at the cameras, you'll see not a lot of activity going on at Stonecrest as we get closer to daylight there in Floyd County. Whitesburg pretty quiet as well this morning. A little traffic starting to move around there on Main Street. Light pinpoint down up the radar, though, nice and quiet. That's going to continue to be the trend. A line of showers and storms working its way from the west, but not quite to us just yet. 50s, 60s, and 70s this morning. Valleys to ridges. Of course, that warm air rises. We're looking at the forecast time today of 85. The record of 88 set back on this day in 2007. We'll see if we get close today. Didn't quite make it yesterday to that 85 forecast high. Have the rest of that forecast coming up here in just a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, in a story we continue to follow this morning, 2 people are dead and at least 4 others are injured after a shooting on the campus of the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. Shortly before 6 last night, the campus went on lockdown after shots were fired in a classroom. Police say the gunman was found and disarmed quickly since many officers were already in the vicinity preparing for a concert on campus.
We trained for this type of an incident and we were able to get to the building, and our officers one officer immediately went to the suspect to take him down.
3 people were critically injured and 1 person has minor injuries. The victim has not yet been identified. A candlelight vigil for the victims will be held tonight. Well, dangerous weather in the heartland last night. At least a dozen tornadoes have been confirmed, striking in 4 different states in the southern plains. Portions of 5 states were under a tornado watch. So far, no injuries have been reported. The severe weather has also triggered flash flood warnings. There's also a flooding emergency in Iowa.
And we grabbed what little possessions were handy and kind of ran.
It was an intense night for 13 million people in the plains. The severe weather threat continued into the overnight hours. June 25th. That is how long it has been since Tyler North was first reported missing. The case since then has gone cold. Police do not have an update. The family doesn't either. I met up with Tyler's aunt, who has more on how they are trying to stay hopeful. It has been more than 300 days.
Hoping and praying, something will lead to something.
Donning a pink shirt that reads, "Prayer changes things. We love you, Tyler." His aunt, Deborah Norris, tries to put into words how the family is doing.
Right now, family's broken. Family's angry, family's mad, and family's hurt.
June 24th. That was the last time anyone has heard from Tyler. Police, they have no leads. The family, they don't either.
We just know it's ongoing, and they're still looking and still, investigating things, but besides that, nothing.
But hope is what they do hold on to, and the 2 young girls he leaves behind.
The saddest thing about it is he was so dedicated to his girls. He loved his babies.
Well, there are no more family gatherings with Tyler. There is a human-sized void left in their hearts. But now, their focus, it shifts to not letting his memory slip away.
To keep his face out there, because I know the longer it goes, the more it's forgotten.
So there's now a Facebook page where they share updates, a reminder that Tyler, he's still out there, somewhere.
Maybe someone will just come forward and just tell us. Or just call in a tip that'll lead to him.
And that his family, well, they just want it back. Now, we reached out to Kentucky State Police yesterday, and they say as of right now, there are no new updates in the case. A soldier from Fort Campbell has died following an incident in Syria. The military says Private First Class Michael Thomason died Monday. His sister says the family was told Thomason died in a shooting. The Army says his injuries were non-combat related. The 28-year-old was from suburban Detroit. Well, when fans go to Churchill Downs this weekend for the Kentucky Oaks and Kentucky Derby, they'll notice a few changes. There will be a new gateway for fans with infield tickets. New seats have also been added for box seats. Churchill Downs is also opening a starting gate rooftop garden. Those at the track say while the changes are minor, they think it will make a big difference for the race day experience.
We're always trying to do the little things to enhance the overall guest experience.
Churchill Downs spent more than $2.5 million on the upgrades. And if you are heading to the track for Derby Day, Churchill Downs will also have a larger police presence with Louisville Metro Police and the National Guard keeping everyone safe. Well, we are less than 1 week away from the Kentucky Derby, and thousands of people will converge at Churchill Downs Saturday to watch the greatest 2 minutes in sports. This brings concerns about security and traffic. Louisville Metro Police held their annual traffic and security briefing on Monday to discuss plans for the Pegasus Parade and Oaks and Derby.
We know that we're going to be having hundreds of thousands of people coming into our community this week. We always want to put our best foot forward every day, but particularly this week when the eyes of the world are on Louisville, Kentucky.
Well, the 145th running of the Kentucky Derby takes place this Saturday, May the 4th. A heavily traveled road in Mingo County is down to one lane in a blind spot because of a bad road slip. The slip is on Route 49. The road is actually on the West Virginia governor's list of secondary roads that need serious attention. But the list does not guarantee road work. Drivers who have to travel this road every day are afraid of it. Catherine Maynard worries about the kids riding the school bus that drives over it.
Over this. And are they going to make it home safe? Is this whole road going to slide out and that school bus be over there on those tracks or be in this hole? You know, it only takes one tire.
Maynard says she's seen DOH crews fill it in with gravel several times, but it's still slipping. The number of people driving high on marijuana is on the rise. Now there is a new effort to warn drivers about the dangers. Chris Martinez has more.
Ron Edwards was riding his motorcycle 4 years ago when a driver ran a red light and killed him. Police say the driver of the car had marijuana in his system. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's most recent survey found between 2007 and 2013, there was a 48% increase in weekend nighttime drivers who tested positive for cannabis.
Where's the weed at?
I smoke, and I just finished smoking my marijuana, which is probably why you smell it.
Since the survey, several states have legalized marijuana for medicinal or recreational use.
Certainly we see the problem in states that allow for medical or recreational access, but even in states that are not allowing access.
Heidi King from the National Highway Transportation Administration, or NHTSA, says driving high increases the risk of a crash.
Their decision making is impaired and their reaction time is slowed. So we want to start a national conversation about the risks of marijuana or cannabis impaired driving.
NHTSA is now starting a national ad campaign, including this public service announcement.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope, I'm high.
The simple message, if you feel different, you drive different.
If you're using, don't get behind the wheel. It's just too dangerous.
Authorities hope that will make people think twice before hitting the road high. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, a group of volunteers, magistrates, and city officials are working to restore an iconic piece of Harlan County. The old Putney Ranger Station has stood watch over the mountains since 1937. In recent years, time has taken a toll on the building, but officials have been working to restore it. The first major step is fixing the roof.
During those times, you know, the roof has started leaking. We've had other issues. We can't complete the interior.
Because the roof is leaking and starting to get into our flooring and destroying that.
we get the roof on, then we can start the interior back.
This Saturday, there is an event called Wild Pine Mountain at the Harlan County Shrine Ground in Putney. The event celebrates Pine Mountain. Those working on restoring the ranger station hopes this brings attention to it. We have all of that information on WYMT.com.
Well, the forecast this morning starting off pretty mild and pretty nice and dry. Let's take a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar. Not much to scan this morning. Some flood warnings been in effect on some of those rivers in Indiana for quite some time. Hopefully they'll start to go down here before too long. Temperatures in the 50s here in Hazard and Ashland as well. Everybody else in the 60s and even close to 70 there in Monticello this morning. Richmond as well. 18 degrees warmer than it was this time yesterday in Monticello, but 1 degree cooler than it was this time yesterday in Prestonsburg. So an iced coffee type of day no matter where you're at this morning, and you'll see the out the door forecast feature temperatures that climb again into near record breaking territory, possibly 85 again the forecast time today. Will.
All righty, Brendan, thank you. And thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Still to come, it has been more than a month since devastating flooding in Nebraska, and some communities are still not back to normal. And a graduate student at the University of Kentucky is using drones to research the atmosphere. We will tell you how this could improve weather forecasts.